Close your eyes for a second and imagine this. You're sitting at home. It's late evening, the day has been long, your mind is tired, and then you hear a voice from the other room say, "Hey, the trash can is full." Now notice what happens inside you. Maybe a slight irritation, maybe resistance, maybe you think, "Why is that my problem right now?" Now rewind the scene. Same room, same time, same trash can, but the voice says, "It would be really great if you could empty the trash, honey." Same information, same request, completely different emotional reaction. You don't feel attacked, you don't feel ordered, you feel invited. And that tiny emotional shift, that almost invisible difference, is the force that quietly controls decisions, relationships, markets, wars, and entire belief systems. This force has a name: framing. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Because framing isn't about lying. It's about choosing which version of the truth people see first. Let me tell you a story. In the 1980s, psychologists Daniel Kahneman and Amos Tversky ran an experiment that should have shaken the world more than it did. They gathered people into a room and told them this: an epidemic is about to break out. 600 lives are at stake. You must choose one of two strategies. Option A: this strategy will save 200 lives. Option B: this strategy offers a 33% chance that all 600 people will survive and a 66% chance that no one will survive. Most people immediately chose option A. Why? Because saving 200 lives feels certain. It feels safe. It feels responsible. A bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. Now here's where it gets disturbing. The researchers came back with the exact same options, but reframed. This time they said, option A, this strategy will kill 400 people. Option B, this strategy offers a 33% chance that no one will die, and a 66% chance that all 600 people will die. Nothing changed mathematically. Nothing changed statistically. The expected outcome was identical. But the response? Almost everyone flipped their decision. Now the majority chose option B. The same people, the same risk, the same numbers. Only the frame had changed, from survival to death. This wasn't a small shift. It was a complete U-turn. And here's the uncomfortable truth. If life and death decisions can be reversed by wording alone, what do you think happens to your daily choices? Your investments, your relationships, your politics, your beliefs? Let's bring it closer to home. Imagine you're at a grocery store, standing in front of the meat section. You see two labels. One says 99% fat-free. The other says 1% fat. Which one feels healthier? Most people instantly point to 99% fat-free, even though they are literally the same thing. Researchers pushed this further. They offered a choice between 98% fat-free and 1% fat. Now, the first option actually has more fat. Yet people still chose it. Why? Because the frame directs attention. Your brain doesn't weigh facts evenly. It follows emotional shortcuts. Fat-free sounds clean. Fat sounds dangerous. The words decide before logic even wakes up. And once you understand this, you start noticing framing everywhere, especially where power lives. In finance, for example, a collapsing share price is never called a collapse. It's a correction. An overpriced acquisition isn't a mistake. It's goodwill. A company facing serious trouble doesn't have problems. It has challenges. Someone who gets fired isn't rejected. They're reassessing their career. A failed military operation isn't a disaster. It's a strategic repositioning. Language is softened, polished, padded, until reality feels harmless. Even tragedy is framed. A soldier who dies becomes a war hero, regardless of whether his death was meaningful, avoidable, or caused by sheer incompetence. Genocide becomes ethnic cleansing. And suddenly, mass murder sounds like housekeeping. Think about how powerful that is. Words don't just describe reality. They edit it. And framing doesn't only work in politics or business. It works on you every single day. Have you ever read a financial prospectus? Look closely. The performance chart almost always starts at the lowest possible point and rises smoothly upward. Why? Because starting the graph at a different year, one bad year earlier, would tell a very different story. The data isn't false. It's framed. Even something as ordinary as bread has split civilizations. In the 16th century, the Reformation tore Christianity apart over how bread was framed. Was it symbolic, the body of Christ in meaning only, or was it literal, the true body of Christ? Same bread, same ritual, different frame. Entire wars followed. Now let's look at commerce. Imagine you're buying a used car. The salesman points to two things immediately. Low mileage, brand new tires. Your attention locks in. You start thinking, this car hasn't been driven much. The tires alone are worth something. And without realizing it, your brain stops scanning. You barely notice the worn interior. You don't question the engine history. You ignore the brakes. The frame has been set. Mileage and tires become the story. Everything else fades into background noise. Had the salesman framed the car differently, highlighting engine reliability or safety records, you might have walked away. Framing doesn't remove information. It controls what you notice. And the same principle applies to stories. Every novelist is a master framer. Imagine a crime novel that starts with page 1 showing the murder in full detail, stab by stab, blow by blow, no mystery, no suspense. Boring. Instead, the author hides information, reveals motives slowly, frames characters in uncertainty. By the time you reach the truth, you're emotionally invested. Your brain loves framed narratives. Raw reality is too overwhelming, and here's the most unsettling part. You cannot escape framing. Even this very explanation is framed. I chose examples that make framing look dangerous, manipulative, and powerful. I could have framed it as a helpful communication skill, or a marketing tool, or a psychological curiosity, but framing is always present, whether used ethically or not. Every sentence carries emphasis. Every statistic carries context. Every story highlights something and hides something else. So what do you do with this knowledge? First, you slow down. When something feels obviously good or obviously bad, ask yourself, what frame am I being shown? What's being emphasized? What's being left out? When a headline triggers emotion, pause. When a sales pitch feels irresistible, pause. When a political message feels morally obvious, pause. Second, learn to reframe for yourself. If someone says, you failed, ask, failed compared to what? If someone says, this is risky, ask, compared to which alternative? If someone says, everyone agrees, ask, which everyone? Framing collapses when questioned. And finally, understand this. Power belongs to those who control the frame. Not the loudest, not the strongest, the ones who decide how reality is presented. Because it's not what you say that moves people, it's how you say it. The tone makes the music, and once you hear it, every conversation, every decision, every message sounds different. Listen carefully.
Thanks for spending time with us. If this sparked a new way of thinking, hit like and subscribe to keep the ideas flowing. And don't forget, check the description for the links to the resources and the original books we used today. We'll see you in the next one.